My name's Matthew. I'd like to welcome you all here today on behalf of Taronga and the QBE Free Flight Bird Show. Now firstly, I would just like to acknowledge the Camaragal people who are the traditional custodians of this land, and as custodians they had a very unique understanding of the connection between the land and its wildlife. Now here at Taronga we are proud to try and follow in those footsteps today. And what better way to show off some of Australia's unique wildlife than getting it kicked off on a high note. And we couldn't do that any better with one of our probably most iconic groups of birds, and that is the parrots. Now Australia has about 50 different kinds of parrots. In fact, we once were given the nickname as the land of parrots. Cockatoos like these sulphurs or amongst the mix, but of course the black cockatoos as well. Now this lovely lady over here is a female red-tailed cockatoo. And we know she's a girl from all these lovely yellow flecks across her black body, whereas the males tend to look a bit different. They tend to be more solid black with a fiery red tail. Now this is Geary. In fact, Geary means red, and you see a flash of colour as he flies across the top of your heads. Now the past 100 years has seen challenge placed on wildlife all around the world. Some, like those sulphurs, have been able to flourish, but most have not. In fact, almost all the black cockatoos from southern Australia are facing serious risk of extinction. And we've often chopped down their homes to build our own, having valued their resources. In particular, this is nesting sites. It can take a tree well over 100 years to start producing hollows that a bird like Geary requires for raising his young. And if we chop down all the dead trees for firewood, don't let the next generation of trees become old enough to produce hollows, these birds will continue to face pressures into their future. But we know it's very much a reversible trend. We can look after the hollows, we can put up artificial nest sites and support their food trees, and this goes a long way to making sure the birds like Geary will have a long future to fly into. And they're not the only bird that will benefit from the protection of creature, I should say, from the protection of hollows, because we all know possums use them, but so do snakes and goannas, ducks, and my favourite group of nocturnal predators, the owls. Now owls have incredible nighttime vision, but what a lot of people don't realise is almost half of all the world's owls regularly hunt in daylight hours, and it's something that definitely surprises many. One owl in Australia loves a good bit of daytime hunting, and it's this beautiful bird, the barking owl. His name's Ripley. You're going to get a close look as he tips to the tops of your heads. I will get you to stay nice and still, keep your hands down, and you'll get to appreciate how fast and powerful this owl is. And the reason that he's out in the day is he likes to eat other birds. So you'll sit, wait and watch. And when he sees something that makes a good meal, he gets there in one big hurry. Now it really pays to be fast when you're a bird hunter. For other birds, but they can be extremely hard to catch. It's not just the small ones he's after, he's a powerful predator. Kookaburras, frogmouths, and cockatoos as big as Geary can all feature on the menu. Now if you have a good look at Ripley's eyes as it comes past, but they are enormous. And if you and I had eyes as large as his, they'd be about the size of softballs on the front of our faces. So big, so jammed within the skull, it leaves no room for muscles at the back, so his eyes can't move at all. But he has twice as many neck bones as you and I. And this enables him to turn his head 3/4 of the way around. You know, he can even turn his head completely upside down. And that helps him spot all the other creatures he loves to feed of, including insects, possums, rabbits, and pest creatures like rats and mice. And I think if you wanted a form of rodent control at home, this would be the best looking rat trap you could hope to see. So thanks for that, Karen. And thanks, Ripley. Now the barking owl is a specialist at looking for its food, but for many owls it's all about their ears and actually listen for theirs. Now right here I have the calls of some frogs. This is a favourite food for many owls. They're not so easy to see, but they're very easy to hear, so this is exactly what they're relying upon to find it. So we're going to hide this little player and see if our owl can find it. And so he doesn't know where it is, I'm just going to ask the help of this young man here at the front. So what's your name, buddy? Lucas? Now I need you to decide where I'm hiding it today, Lucas. We have two choices. The rock's either side, you're in the middle, keeps it fair, so which one do you like the look of? This one over here, thank you, Lucas. Everyone give him a big round of applause and say thanks. Yeah, come on out, Lucas. Come on, we'll give you a good chance to meet this bird up nice and close. Now, Lucas, the owl we're bringing out for you is considered one of the most common, come over here with me, owls in the world, and it's known as a barn owl. Ours is called Marriage. She'll be coming up from through the garden up there any moment, see if she can find herself some dinner. So let's see how she goes. scene. There she goes. Right on target. Now, Lucas, you can see that she has a very distinct shape to her face. This heart or disc-like shape actually traps sound and channels it back to very large ears that are hidden right underneath the feathers. They're not just large, I'm just going to turn this off, they're actually lopsided and they're angled in slightly different directions. And it's the subtle differences in the way it makes the sound arrive that helps them to pinpoint exactly where their prey is hiding. Now she does fly silently, so I want you to listen out again, Lucas, see if you hear anything at all as Marion heads on home. You ready?
Here she goes.
It's pretty quiet, isn't it? Yeah, well, everyone give Lucas a rude round of applause. You can take yourself a seat, young man. I hope you enjoyed that close-up look to a very spectacular looking bird. Now, the barn owl is one of 5 different types of owls that we find right here in Sydney, but we don't tend to see them all that often. Owls are very shy and secretive, but there are other birds I'm sure you know at first sight. Includes the little pink and grey guys, the galahs. This is our galah, his name's Jojo. Jojo needs someone's help too. This time towards the top, someone who has some money. A $1 or $2 coin if you have it. Just looking for some money. A few people got hands up. I just want to see a coin so I know you're ready for me. Tell you what, the young man there in the black baseball cap, we're going to get you to give us a hand. Now, could you stand up on your seat for me so you're nice and tall? Can you hop right up on your seat? That's it. Now I want you to hold that point thumb finger and then look at me, hold it straight out to your side. Straight out like this, nice and straight. Now I need you to, between your thumb and finger. That's it. Maybe someone who's a bit bigger can give him a hand, make sure he's got that all sorted for me. That's it. Now stay as still as you can, buddy, okay? Straight as 2 bands, because Jojo has seen your food. Heads on up there. Brings it back to me. Place it. Thanks, Jojo. Enough, thank you very much. Who else would like to give it a go? I know it's warm, so we're going to up the ante a little. So who's got $20 this time? And the hands start coming down. Well, lucky for you all, we're only joking. In fact, Jojo is a very honest bird and would love to return the young man's coin. If I could get you to stand up on your seat one last time. This time, get you to hold your hand nice and flat, palm to the sky. That's perfect. And Jojo will bring your money back to place it where he found it. Now, one of the best things about working at a place like at Taronga is the opportunity we get to make a genuine difference in the lives of animals, not just in our care, but those in the wild as well. And one of those birds we've been helping for a bit over 10 years now is this beautiful looking bird over here. It's called a regent honeyeater. Now, these birds once numbered in their tens of thousands in the wild, and there's now to believe only around 500 of them left. Now, over a quarter of those were actually bred here at Taronga and released back into the wild. Now, if you want to help us out in our efforts to protect creatures like this, come down at the end of the show and you can pop some money in this box and know that every single cent will get out to help out wildlife, just like this regent honeyeater. And for anyone who is prepared to donate $5 or more, we've made a badge to say thanks, but also to show that you too have been for the wild. Now, the galah definitely gets that reputation for being just a little bit cute and comical, but I think that some of our least known birds have some of the more interesting behaviours. In fact, there was a hawk that came to the attention of Europeans, all because of emus, because it was claimed that it could get inside. But we took one look at this bird and we said, doesn't look big enough and doesn't look strong enough. But in some ways we were right. But what we didn't know is this black-breasted buzzard had a trick up its sleeve. Mother Nature had informed it how to use a tool. And it's just a rock. Well, we named our beautiful buzzard Waru. And Waru never had to learn this old behaviour from any other black-breasted buzzard. For the very first time she saw an egg, instincts kicked in. She looked for the nearest rock to smash it on open. Now you can see she's made a neat little hole there. She's trying to make it bigger herself, because if she can eat the contents through that hole, you're carrying it with you. If she can eat the contents through that hole, she doesn't run the risk of it being spilt upon the ground. And for a small hawk like this, there is close to a dozen chicken eggs worth of food inside every emu egg. Oh, we've got it all, have we? And that gives her a chance to pretty much last out a week. That was a huge meal for her. But the instinct is so strong that even afterwards, they still like to give it a good old whack. Give it a shot. Now, Now, as much as we never had to teach Waru anything about breaking open eggs, you got the last piece, there was one thing we did have to teach. You done? And that was just how to take, look, you try again. You ready? And that was just how to take himself home. So see you later, Waru. They're a beautiful little hawk. If you've spent any time around Alice Springs, that's probably one of the places I've seen them the most. They really are spectacular. They tend to live in dry, remote regions of the country where there's a tall stand of trees, often created by temporary or underground water. And this is the kind of situation that they love. Now, when hawks like the buzzard are out there, not just hunting, they're often searching for animals that have died. They scavenge a lot. And I'd say probably the most famous of the avian scavengers are vultures. But a lot of people don't like them. People think they're ugly, others think they're evil, but without them, diseases that impact on us are actually on the increase. And I say without because some types of vultures have disappeared by over 99% in the past 10 years. So diseases like anthrax and rabies are actually on the increase. So very important to the environment, but they have huge cultural significance as well. In fact, the ancient Incas of South America believed the sun was so heavy that it was needing help to be carted across the sky. And this is thought to be done on the wings of one of the world's largest flying birds, known as the Andean condor. Cast her eyes up this way, and you'll see Leslie. Another 3 metre wingspan, she's on the big side. Now straight away, you can see that she is a vulture. She has that relatively naked head and neck that she shares with many of her relatives. Now this is not there for us to judge her appearance by. It actually keeps her very clean and healthy. While she'll stick her head deep in the belly of a large dead animal. Come, you gotta stay up there. And when she brings it out, it often brings with it a bit of blood and guts and debris. But a relatively bald head means when it dries in the sun, you can rub it on a rock, it flakes on off, she gets to stay very clean and healthy. Now in my mind, this is probably nature's ultimate recycler for feeding upon the bodies of animals that have died. Definitely helps prevent the spread of disease that would occur if just left there to rot. You've done a great job, my friends. When you're ready, you can take yourself home. My mind definitely has such a significant role to play out there within nature, but nature pretty much has a plan for all of us. You know, we can all play our part, and Fitzy here would like to point out one of the more obvious. He just wishes that instead of walking past any litter that we may see upon the ground, that we just pick it up and make sure it ends in the nearest bin. Next bit. It is an incredibly simple thing to do that goes a long way to help ensuring the future for so many creatures we share this planet with. You know, the last 100 years we have seen an awful lot of change. And I'm really optimistic for some of the choices that we can make will have a genuine difference in that next 100. But if there was one final thought to take with you today, it would just be to remind you when you're out and about in this beautiful country of ours, don't forget to take some time to look up. You never know.